Hello everyone and welcome back to Waverly Reads. Today is going to be a really quick, really rough monthly haul because I want to get this up today as well as my wrap up. Fair few amount of books here that I need to haul. I'm going to tell you as much as I can about most of them. Some of them I might not know and just stuff like that, but we all know me, I buy books half of the time just to buy them. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 10 things you need to know. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got 14 books that I need to haul for you, and I've not done my makeup. I've genuinely got pyjama bottoms on and just put on a decent top that's actually kind of see-through now that I look at it. So just so I could quickly film this video and get it edited because I'm going out tonight and this is my only chance to do so. So I'm going to jump straight into it, give you a haul. So the first one I have actually already read, and if you've watched my wrap up already then you will know that. And that's Argente by Gita Trellis. This is a book about a girl who is poor and she is trying to look after her younger sister who is sick and also stay away from her older brother who is abusive, and to do this she wields magic. It's coins out of buttons so that she can pay for the bills and stuff like that and get them food, and after a few hours the coins will turn back into buttons, but it's not enough and they need more money quickly because they need to escape their brothers. So she then turns herself into an enchantress and goes into the posh part of town and starts gambling to get them some money, leading a double life. There's a love story in it, there's a lot of magic, and it's actually really intriguing. It wasn't exactly the most amazing book I've ever read, but that was in my wrap up, so you can go check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, that's what that's about. The next book I brought was Witch Sign by Den Patrick. This is the first book in the Ashen Torment series, and I'm not 100% sure what it's about, so I'm going to read the back for you, but when I read the back I got intrigued. I haven't heard anything about this book online. It's been 75 years since the Dragon's World of Fire and Magic was ended. Out of the ashes, the Solomindra Empire was born. Since then, the tyrannical Synod has worked hard to banish all manifestations of the arcane from existence. Children are still born bearing the taint of magic known to all as Witch Sign, but vigilants are sent out across the continent of Winterfeld to test young ones. Any child found with Witch Sign is spirited away, never to be seen again. When vigilants appear in Steiner's village, a small and bleak gathering of houses buffeted by a black sea, he doesn't fear for himself, he fears for Kajau, his sister. Kajau has always been different, wild, touched by something mythical. He is prepared to sacrifice everything to protect her, and he may have to. For me, God help those who bear the sign of the witch. It just sounds so cool and I'm excited to read that. The next book is 5 Feet Apart by, who is this by? Rachel Limpincott. This book reminds me of Everything. It's basically one of those, I've got this very bad terminal illness and I'm going to fall in love, so it's like The Fault in Our Stars, it's like everything. It's one of those books. I've heard good and bad things about this, but the premise of this story is, can you love someone you can never touch? Stella Grant likes to be in control, even though her totally out of control lungs have sent her in and out of the hospital most of her life. What Stella needs to control most is her distance from everyone or anything that might pass along an infection or jeopardize the possibility of a lung transplant. 6 feet apart, no exceptions. The only thing Will Newman wants to be in control of is getting out of this hospital. In 1 week he'll turn 18 and then he'll be able to unplug himself from all of these machines and actually go to see the world. Will's exactly what Stella needs to stay away from, but now 6 feet doesn't feel like safety, it feels like punishment. What if they could steal back just a little bit of space their broken lungs have stolen from them? Would 5 feet apart really be so dangerous if it stops their hearts from breaking too? Next we're getting into territory of a video me and Cass filmed, but I lost all of the footage of. So basically I set Cass a challenge to pick me up 4 books from Waterstones and buy them for me based solely on what they're about, and she had to pick books out that she thinks I would like. So she picked me out 4 books and it was a really good video. It was really fun to film. It was really funny watching her struggle to choose books that she thinks I might like. And then I lost all the footage, so that video will never get seen and I'm not wasting more money to do it again. So the first book she picked up for me was Defy Me by Tara Murphy. This was a cheat because at the time I was reading Unravel Me, so she was like, I know what I can get you, but this is a really new release, so it's kind of surprising. No, I was reading Restore Me, not Unravel Me. I was reading Restore Me and she picked this up knowing that it was the next in the series and that I needed to read it. So it was kind of a cheat, but I was there for it. Obviously, this is like the 5th book in the series, so I can't tell you what that one's about. And I talk about Shatter Me way too much. The second one she picked up was The Twisted Tree by Rachel Bird. This book, I have no idea what this is about. Martha can tell things about a person just by touching their clothes, as if their emotions and memories have been absorbed into the material. It began the day she fell from the tree and became blind in one eye. Determined to understand her strange ability, Martha sets off to visit her grandmother, Mormor, only to discover Mormor is dead and a peculiar boy is in her cabin. Then the spinning wheel starts creaking, terror creeps in, and Martha is faced with an impossible decision. Apparently Cass thinks I'll like this. Actually, that does sound kind of interesting. The third book she picked me up was Spellbook of the Lost and Found by Maura Foley Doyle. And I don't know what this is about. I didn't pick these up myself, so... One stormy summer night, Olive and her best friend Rose begin to lose things. It starts with simple items like hair clips and jewellery, but soon it's clear that Rose has lost something bigger, something she won't talk about. Then Olive meets 3 wild, mysterious strangers, Ivy, Hazel and Rowan. Like Rose, they're mourning losses and holding tight to secrets. When they discover the ancient spellbook full of hand-inked charms to conjure back lost things, they realise it might be their chance to set everything right, unless it's leading them towards secrets that were never meant to be found. And then the last book she picked me up was Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. Part Wonder Woman, part Vikings and all heart. Raised to be a warrior, 17-year-old Elin fights alongside her Asker clansmen in an ancient rivalry against the Ricky clan. Her life is brutal but simple, fight and survive until the day she sees the impossible on the battlefield, her brother fighting with the enemy, the brother she watched die 5 years ago. Ooh. Faced with her brother's betrayal, she must survive the winter in the mountains with the Ricky, or Reiki, I don't know, in a village where every neighbour is an enemy, every battle scar possibly one she's delivered. But when Reiki village is raided by a ruthless clan thought to be a legend, Elin is even more desperate to get back to her beloved family. She is given no choice but to trust Fiske, her brother's friend, who sees her as a threat. They must do the impossible, unite the clans to fight together or risk being slaughtered one by one. Driven by a love for her clan and her growing love for Fiske, Elin must confront her own definition of loyalty and family while daring to put her faith in the people she spent her life hating. That actually sounds really cool. And now we're just back into books I have got myself. So the first one is The Hunger Games by Susan Collins in yet another edition. I'm going to get these editions next, and I saw a really stunning edition yesterday whilst I was in London actually, and I really want it. So I picked up Gone by Michael Grant. This is post-apocalyptic, so I'm just going to read the back. That seems to be the quickest and easiest way. So 299 hours and 54 minutes. Suddenly it's a world without adults and normal has crashed and burned. When life as you know it ends at 15, everything changes. A small town in Southern California, in the blink of an eye, everyone over the age of 15 disappears. Cut off from the outside world that those that are left are trapped and there's no help on the way. Chaos rules the street. Now a new world order is rising, and even scarier, some survivors have powers. Mutant powers that no one else has ever seen before. Escapism just doesn't get better than this. I heard of this so much when I was a kid, and I saw it in a charity shop, so I picked it up. Next, from the same charity shop, is Ketchup Clouds by Annabelle Pitcher. I wouldn't have even thought to pick this up if I hadn't seen that Shakira really liked it, and sometimes me and Shakira can have really, really similar taste. So this is about Zoe Collins has a dark and terrible secret that she dares confess to no one. But one day she hears of a criminal on death row who knows all about secrets and lies and betrayal. Desperate to confide in someone, Zoe picks up a pen. These are the letters that she wrote. So I believe this is wrote in letters between her and a criminal. That's just insane. Next, I got Dreamology. I got given this by Shakira, actually, by Lisa Keaton. I've already read this. I read this last year. I'm not entirely sure why I took it, because I didn't really enjoy it all that much. I just like owning books that I have read. So I'm not sure if I'm actually going to keep this, but it's there. Next up is Riverdale The Day Before, and this is a prequel to the TV show Riverdale. If you have seen that, this is the prequel before Jason died. So it says, in the early morning hours of on the 4th of July, a gunshot rings out in Sweetwater River, turning the sleepy town of Riverdale upside down. But what did life look like the day before everything changed? Before Jason Blossom went missing, 4 teens were taking advantage of their summer freedom. Archie was in love, Betty was conquering her LA internship, Veronica was running Manhattan, and Jughead was just trying to get by. Told from alternating points of view, this prequel novel set in the Riverdale universe explores what life was like the day before it all changed for us. Yeah, I picked that up. Of course I did. The next book I got was The Crown by Kiera Cass. This is the 5th book in the Selection series. It used to be a trilogy. So obviously I can't tell you what this is about either, but again, it's one of those that I've spoken about so much before, you should already know. And the last book I got was Autobiography by Christina Lauren. I actually finished this yesterday and it was amazing. So this book follows a boy named Tanner who is closeted and only his family know that he is bisexual. He's not gay. Hallelujah. Every single time I've heard someone talk about this book, it's like, oh, it's a gay story. No, it's a bisexual story, and bisexual rap just doesn't exist. So I was really happy about that. So Tanner is bisexual and closeted, and the only people that know is his family. Not even his best friend knows. And one day his TA, who is 19 and Mormon, so totally off limits, comes into his writing class, and he basically starts he has to write a book in 4 months, and the book he starts writing is an autobiography about himself falling for his TA Sebastian and trying to stay closeted, trying not to act upon these feelings, because Sebastian is Mormon and he's allowed to be gay but not allowed to act upon being gay, so he's very closeted as well. And it's a roller coaster of emotions, man, and I really loved it. You can find out more about that in my May wrap-up. Those are all of the books that I bought over the past month. That's actually quite a huge pile, but I've only brought 1 book so far this month, and it is the 9th, so maybe I'll have a bit of a smaller haul this time round, but we'll see. Anyway, if you enjoyed this haul, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I post a new weekly booktube video like this every single Thursday, and a new weekly reading vlog on my vlogging channel, which is in the description, every single Monday, so go subscribe to that as well, and I'll see you next week for another video. Bye.